Scanning for audio.
Welcome to the second of Book Week here on the Tin Dog Podcast. This time I'm talking about Doctor Who Plague City by Jonathan Morris. This one still features the 12th Doctor, Bill and Nardole. And here's the synopsis. The year is 1645 and Edinburgh is the grip of the worst plague in history. Nobody knows who will be next to succumb, nobody except the Night Doctor, a masked figure that stalks the streets, seeking out those who will not live to see another day. But death is not the end. The Doctor, Bill and Nardole discover that the living are being haunted by the recently departed, by ghosts that do not know they are dead. And there are other creatures lurking in the shadows, slithering, creeping creatures filled with insatiable hunger. The Doctor and his friends must face the terrifying secret of the Street of Sorrows, that something that has lain dormant for 200 million years is due to destroy the entire city. We all know how good Jonathan Morris is as an author, and this is no exception to his exceptional work. Here's a reading from the book. It was the sound they had been dreading. 4 slow, heavy thuds on the tenement door. The sound meant only one thing. Their daughter, Catherine, would not live to see another dawn. She was only 19, little more than a girl. She didn't deserve to die. Thomas had feared the worst ever since Catherine had shown the first symptoms 4 days ago. She had complained of feeling faint and tired, which was most unlike her. She had only retired early to bed. The next morning she was even weaker, gasping and shivering with the cold, even after they moved her bed to beside the hearth, stoked up the fire and covered her with every blanket they owned. But over the next 2 days she fell into a terrible fever. She suffered coughing fits that caused her to double up in pain, and panted for air as though she had run the length of Canongate Street. Her nightclothes clung to her, damp with sweat, and she drifted in and out of a tortured sleep in fretful delirium, calling for water and calling for her ma and pa to stay close and hold her hand. Thomas was holding her hand now, gently rubbing her limp fingers to keep them warm. She was asleep finally, which was a blessing, but her breathing remained laboured, her lungs crackling like pairs of billows. Even by the flickering half-light of the fire she could make out her sore, reddened eyelids and paleness in her cheeks. She was always a very pale girl, just like her mother, but now her skin was so transparent he could make out the veins in her temples, and on her lily-smooth neck below her ears the festering red blisters that marked her out as a victim of the plague. She had grown weaker with each hour that passed, and now the knock at the door confirmed her fate. Soon she would be dead, and he would never hear the sound of her voice again, never hear her laughter, never see her smile. He would never see her dance again, laughing with delight as she hoisted her petticoats, her chin raised, flicking her long dark wavy hair behind. He would never see her marry. She would never have children. She would never grow old. Just the thought of losing her was like having a great beast gnawing at his stomach, a weight pressing down upon his heart. The dread of all the bleak and empty days to come made him feel like he was choking. There were 4 more knocks at the door. On the 2nd of September 2017, Hooverville 9 will be with us. William Russell, the man who was Ian Chesterton and still is on Big Finish. Carol Ann Ford, Susan, the Doctor's granddaughter. Nicola Bryant, Perry. Toby Haydock, DVD Extras Man, and everyone's favourite racist barman. Jessica Martin, Fraser Hines, Jamie, Phil Ford, Michael Pickwood, Philip Hinchcliffe, and Matthew Dale are just some of the names who'll be appearing at Hooverville, the biggest little Doctor Who convention ever. Visit hooverville.org to get tickets. See you then. That was the Doctor Who Tin Dog Podcast, available on iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, RSS, Vimeo, and across the internet. Doctor Who and its associated properties are all copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Why not become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.